So how do you store? So this is where we have to start, simply, I'm obviously making it a very super simplistic layperson terms, but really it's more important to understand not the jargon that's set in the industry. Of course, there are all kinds of codes and financial terms you can actually determine. It's far more complicated and complex because of millions of codifying that we did across to somehow make sense of the trillions of dollars worth of transactions that actually happen. But if you really understand at the base conceptual level, is there is a store of value, there's a determination of value, there's an exchange of value, and the value setting, and many players in the equation that actually do it. But there's also foundationally what you do with the store of value, right? So if I keep $10 there and I don't do anything with the $10, even if I'm storing and only charging you a storage fee, that worth that is sitting of $10 is actually wasted. So banks effectively what they do is they take that money and reinvest and make money. They give you a small piece of based on the instrument that you're banking. Of course, banking is an infrastructure primarily that makes money through services, right? I mean, they provide all kinds of financial services and different instruments that you're investing into, or you're saving money, or you're doing like short-term loan mechanisms or investment mechanisms. So if you look at many different aspects of banking infrastructure services, depending on the kind of bank that you're in, if you're in the capital markets or an investment bank or a retail bank that's serving on the retail side or the institutional side or the commercial side of the equation, they're large pools of money because I'm taking that money, I want that to be stored somewhere else. And that stored pooled money is much larger chunk. And why would you just sit on it and waste that money? You take that money, reinvest in the markets, and then just because I reinvest, the bank makes significant amount of money on the collected pool of money. But they have two mechanisms of actually enriching their own position in the equation of the value chain. One is I charge you for a service, I'm making revenues, but I'm also making money through investments that I'm investing into the market. Because what we've effectively given permission when you bank with any bank anywhere else in the world is we've given the consent for them to invest, but not on my behalf, because that's a different kind of a service and a structure. But that custodian, because bank is nothing but classically at the end of the day a custodian. They're custodian, that's the license that they have to hold your money, and they're also money transmitter, which also has different sets of licenses based on jurisdiction around the world, and they're transferring money back and forth, right? So all of that is a service, intermediary structures, and layers of transactions that's actually happening. So if you were to understand how are we inventing, reinventing, changing this equation of value, how are we determining, what are the new instruments of determining what is that value, what is the storage of value, and how do we transact that value? And does that value have to be in that same form of a currency? Does that value have to be in the same form as a stock or a share or some sort of an asset as an investment? More and more in the digital first environment, our attention is a value that I can capitalize on, right? Means if I'm going to give you an hour of effective my time, that my time of attention is money.